The Israelites suffered under Midianite oppression, hiding in caves to protect their meager harvests from invaders. An angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon, calling him a mighty man of valor. Gideon, doubting his strength, asked how he could save Israel with his small, weak family clan. The Lord promised to be with him, assuring victory over the Midianites as if they were one. Gideon requested a sign, placing a fleece on the threshing floor to test God's divine word. In the morning, the fleece was wet with dew, while the ground around it remained bone dry. He asked for a second sign, wanting the fleece dry and the ground wet with morning dew. God granted the request, confirming his presence and power to the humble farmer from Manasseh's tribe. Gideon gathered an army of 32,000 men, but the Lord said the host was too large. God commanded Gideon to send home those who were afraid, leaving 10,000 men to fight. Still, the Lord said there were too many, instructing Gideon to watch how the men drank water. Only 300 men lapped the water with their hands, and these were chosen for the battle. The vast Midianite army lay in the valley like grasshoppers, their camels as numerous as seaside sand. That night, the Lord told Gideon to go down to the camp, for he had delivered them. Gideon crept near and heard a Midianite recounting a dream about a barley loaf destroying their tent. Encouraged by this, Gideon returned to his camp and organized his small band of 300 men. He gave each man a trumpet, an empty pitcher, and a burning torch hidden inside the clay. They surrounded the enemy camp in the dead of night, waiting for Gideon's signal to strike hard. Gideon blew his trumpet, and all his men shattered their pitchers and raised their bright torches high. They shouted, "The sword of the Lord and of Gideon," creating a terrifying sound in the dark. Panic erupted in the Midianite camp as the men turned their swords against one another in confusion. The entire enemy host fled in terror, running toward the border while the Israelites pursued them relentlessly. Gideon's small band had achieved a miraculous victory, proving that God does not need large armies. The land of Israel found peace for 40 years, resting under the leadership of the faithful judge. Gideon refused to be king, declaring that the Lord alone would rule over the people of Israel. He returned to his home, leaving behind a legacy of faith, courage, and total reliance on God. The story of Gideon serves as a reminder that strength comes from obedience to the divine will. Even the weakest among us can accomplish great things when they trust in the Lord's mighty hand. The fleece and the trumpet remain symbols of a man who moved from fear to bold faith. Israel learned that their deliverance was not by their own might, but by the Lord's sovereign power. Gideon lived a long life, and his name was remembered throughout the generations as a faithful servant. He judged Israel with wisdom, keeping the people focused on the commandments of the living God. The Midianite threat was completely broken, and the borders of the land were finally secure once again. Gideon died in a good old age, having fulfilled his calling to deliver his people from bondage. His life stands as a testament to the power of one person willing to follow God's lead. Thus, the Lord saved Israel through the hands of Gideon, the man who trusted in his word.